Streaming on clickorlando.com, you're watching News 6 at 10.
Now on News 6, a man chokes at Disney Springs, then dies, and it's led to a lawsuit. Why a top legal firm and the man's family say a restaurant is to blame.
I said, I love you, boy. He was like, I love you too, Coach Bojack. And then finding out that he had passed. And I'm like, wait, hold on. I just saw him Saturday. How could this happen? I was devastated.
A football coach honors a teen player whose life was cut short by a bullet. What he wants people to know about one of the 3 teens killed over Christmas week.
Sadek will be arriving in 2 minutes. That is incredibly fast.
A fast ride-share service that is free to customers, but it costs taxpayers more than $400,000 a year. We're asking where the money goes, and we're putting it to the test.
But we start now at 10 tonight with a man police say tried to bribe a child to get into his car tonight. With the help of that child, Eustis detectives say they've made an arrest. Thank you for joining us. I'm Matt Austin.
I'm Ginger Gadsden. Gregory Lockwood is accused of attempted abduction 1 day after police released surveillance pictures of his vehicle. News 6 community correspondent Troy Campbell is in Eustis with reaction to his arrest.
This is the intersection near East Pinehurst and South Grove Street in Eustis, where investigators say that incident took place on Saturday afternoon. We spoke with a neighbor who says she's thankful there's an arrest.
Good for Eustis Police Department and everyone involved, anyone that shared their camera footage and helped the police.
Neighbors reacting to the arrest of 55-year-old Gregory Lockwood. Lockwood is accused of trying to abduct a minor on Saturday afternoon. Investigators say Lockwood drove near the victim and began asking where the best place to get a drink was. Lockwood is accused of then offering the minor $300 to get in the vehicle and to leave with him. However, when the victim declined the offer, Eustis police say Lockwood became angry, which caused the minor to become afraid and flee on foot.
I also hope that this creates awareness, because there are a lot of minors and children that live throughout this community. There's a bus stop right across the street from my house.
Luana Milner lives about a block away and says she's thankful the victim was able to get away.
This turned out to be a situation that no one was hurt, but it could have very easily gone the opposite direction. And that's the thing we need to take away from this. Just to be more aware, more cautious.
Prior to Lockwood's arrest, Eustis police released surveillance images of his vehicle driving in the area.
It's very fortunate that they were able to find good footage with pictures that would not only help them apprehend the person, but also, I'm sure, serve as evidence. I'm very concerned to hear this. Especially right here in my neighborhood.
And again, Eustis police say Lockwood is being charged with attempted abduction and battery of a minor. In Eustis, I'm your community correspondent, Troy Campbell, News 6.
Another top story tonight, a popular Disney Springs restaurant sued by a family who says their loved one died after eating there. We broke this story tonight at 6. The lawsuit claims employees at the Boathouse restaurant weren't properly trained on how to handle the emergency. The Marion County man died 1 day later. According to the lawsuit, during his meal on June 8th, Kevin Duncan started choking on a piece of steak. The family attempted the Heimlich maneuver. That's when they say staff at the restaurant made a fatal mistake, claiming they didn't call 911 right away. They called security. Court documents say Duncan was placed on a ventilator at the hospital and died on June 9th. Attorneys for the law firm Morgan & Morgan allege negligence and wrongful death in excess of $50,000. The lawsuit claims the Boathouse failed to, quote, train and supervise employees to recognize choking. It also claims the restaurant's failing to have and enforce a policy requiring staff to contact security before calling 911, causing delay. It's important to note this lawsuit is not filed against Disney. It is filed against the company that owns and operates the Boathouse. We have reached out to the company for a response.
In Orange County, 3 different shootings left 3 teens dead during the holidays, including a 16-year-old football player. Your community correspondent Tylisa Hampton spoke with a coach who saw this teen grow up.
For Boris Jackson, it's an unimaginable pain for a football coach.
Just a very peaceful kid.
The child he is talking about is 16-year-old Laraylin Harrison, who was shot and killed on 26th Street just days after Christmas at night. Jackson says he saw Harrison just one day before his life was taken.
I said, I love you, boy. He was like, I love you too, Coach Bojack. And his own little, demeanor, his way of just chilling. I love you too, Coach Bojack. And then finding out that he had passed. And I'm like, wait, hold on. I just saw him Saturday. How could this happen? I was devastated.
That's because Jackson was more than just a coach, but a family friend who got to watch Harrison grow up.
Raylan was a young kid that came to my Speed Plus program when he was 8 years old. I know his mom by way of another family member. She would come to our church. She would introduce him to me as a Coach Bojack.
A sport he says Harrison excelled at, as his death is a loss to the community.
He was a workaholic. He just wanted to play football. He wanted to do well.
But even off the field, he says the 16-year-old was already thinking about his future.
And he told me he appreciated me inviting him to church because he wants to get his life right. He wants to save.
With no arrest made and limited information surrounding the shooting, Jackson hopes justice comes soon to give closure to the family.
We have to stop the violence, though. I mean, I'm a product of Orlando, Florida, born and raised here. And we just have to do a better job of teaching how to de-escalate, situations amongst our young boys and girls and adults.
That was Tylisa Hampton reporting. Grief counselors were out as some Orange County students returned from winter break, knowing a 13-year-old classmate was shot and killed on Christmas. Deputies arrested a 15-year-old who they say took responsibility for the shooting that killed Emily Jackson. He said it was an accident. The teen is now facing a manslaughter charge. Emily was an 8th grader at Robbinswood Middle School in Orlando. Grief counselors were on campus to help students through this difficult time. Her family says she was a good kid who loved cheerleading.
It's just sad that families have to face this, just nevertheless all together, but during the holiday time when families are supposed to be together.
The 8th grader was one of at least 3 teens killed over the break in Orange County. On Christmas Eve, a 17-year-old was shot and killed near a condominium complex along PGA Boulevard near Oak Ridge. And on Sunday after Christmas, a 16-year-old was shot on 26th Street near Rio Grande Avenue and later died.
Well, tonight, Cape Canaveral city leaders got their last shot at convincing the Brevard County School Board not to close the city's only school. The mayor and parents want Cape View Elementary School to stay. They told school board members at a meeting today that that's exactly what they're hoping for. But since October, we've told you school leaders are weighing a plan to close that school. Cape View has been around since the early 60s, but with an aging population in Cape Canaveral, attendance is dropping. The mayor spoke on what the school means to the community.
It's our only school. It's really important to us, and it's a part of our community.
So if it closes, students would transfer to Roosevelt Elementary in Cocoa Beach. Tonight's meeting was a last chance for the city to weigh in before the final vote on January 20th. Of course, we'll keep you posted. Brevard isn't the only district weighing school closures. Orange County could shut down as many as 7 campuses as well. In a presentation last month, school leaders explained to the board how a drop in enrollment is costing too much money to keep those schools open. The superintendent recommended a plan to shut down Union Park Middle School as well as 6 elementary schools, Bonneville, Chickasaw, Orla Vista, Eccleston, Meadow Woods, and McCoy. School leaders say they will host community meetings in all of the neighborhoods affected sometime this month. We checked, they have not yet set any dates.
New at 10 tonight, Kissimmee City Commissioners voted unanimously to keep a unique ride-share service running in downtown. It's a ride-share service that lets customers ride without paying a single dime, but it's costing taxpayers more than $400,000 a year. News 6's Alex Cook took Freebie for a test drive to see if it's worth keeping around.
Kissimmee's had that service here since 2023, but it's also the company that's in charge of Seminole County's new Scout shuttle service. You may recall I tested Scout myself after hearing about long and unreliable wait times and found myself waiting over an hour and a half for a ride. So now that Kissimmee is set to renew their contract, what could I do but book myself another ride and see how it compares? Sadek will be arriving in 2 minutes. That is incredibly fast. Everybody loves watching Alex wait on a shuttle. Wait up, Sadek. Oh, he's gonna park. My freebie driver picked me up in a Tesla at Kissimmee City Hall just 2 minutes after I requested the ride. Hey, how's it going? He said it's not always so fast, though.
Around this time, usually we're all busy with the college, coming back to the train and the bus. They use this a lot. We're very busy with Valencia College.
I had him take me just up the road to HCA Florida Osceola Hospital. My driver's shift was over, but I had to get back to City Hall. I requested another freebie. I hope I didn't cause anyone any delays today, taking my rides for science. All right, another few minutes later, and I'm getting onto another one. The wait time was no longer, and soon I was back at my news car, having spent not a single penny. That's a key difference between freebie service in Kissimmee and Scout in Seminole. Here, it's 100% free to ride. Another difference, freebie isn't replacing the bus service here like Seminole County plans to. It's a last-mile transit option designed to help you get to major destinations like the hospital or City Hall from a bus stop or train station. City staff recommends approving the contract renewal, which will cost over $420,000 and keep freebie running through March 2027. They say they gave over 25,000 rides in 2024, and while 2025 numbers haven't been finalized yet, they're expected to be even higher. In Kissimmee, Alex Cook, News 6.
An alert tonight about scammers passing counterfeit cash at local shops.
Hitting them during the holidays.
How much money are we talking about?
So they each used a 50, so they got us for about $100.
They say these fakes are convincing. How the stores realized they had been had and how you can check what's in your wallet.
And we've got record highs we're tracking between now and Friday before we get back into the cool territory. I'll have the full breakdown on how hot it could get and then how cold it is we have coming down the road here coming up next.
A Ferrari formerly owned by President Trump up for auction, just one of many cars to the stars on the block today in Kissimmee. We'll take you there.
You're watching News 6 at 10, live on a Tuesday night covering Avalon Park, Baldwin Park, and all of Central Florida. This portion of the news is sponsored by Central Florida Honda Dealers.
Now on News 6, a counterfeit cash grab in Seminole County. Detectives are trying to track down the thieves who used funny money to trick at least 4 local businesses.
Those business owners say they were hit during the height of the holiday season, some on the same day, even in the same shopping center. Your Seminole County community correspondent Catherine Silver has the video and spoke to workers who say these bogus bills looked legit.
A counterfeit cash grab. I'm Catherine Silver, your Seminole County community correspondent. We're learning at least 4 businesses were hit this holiday season, some in the same shopping plaza and some in the same day. Each has a similar story. They say the suspects walked in and paid with what looks like this real $50 bill, but it was actually fake. In and out in just minutes.
It was super quick.
The manager at Cava Culture in Lake Mary says first a man came in on December 16th.
Ordered his drink, paid for it, left.
And then a woman followed.
She came in, ordered the same exact drink, and then left.
Caleb Lusak says both paid with fake bills, but walked away with real change. How much money are we talking about?
So they each used a 50, so they got us for about $100.
Lusak says it adds up for a small business, and they're not the only ones. When he learned about the counterfeit cash, he went on Facebook and saw another business on Lake Mary Boulevard had the same story.
I saw Sobol, which is another local mom pop small business company.
You guys started connecting your own dots.
Yes, ma'am.
Pictures shared by both shops show what their security cameras captured on the same day. The Seminole County Sheriff's Office says they're following active leads and also looking into a stop at a pizza shop where this surveillance video from almost 2 weeks later shows a machine flagged the 50 as a fake. What do you guys look for? Lusak showed us other ways to catch a counterfeit.
If it's yellow or clear, it passes the test. And then if it's brown or gray, then it fails the test.
A closer inspection can also show flaws.
The one that most people know is the face.
A side-by-side comparison of what's real and what Lusak says was handed to his cashier shows just how similar the counterfeit cash can be.
It's a pretty good fake.
Until it's put to the test. Those would be immediate red flags.
Yes, immediate red flags.
I also spoke with an employee at an ice cream shop that's just a few doors down here from Cava Culture. He told me the same thing. A man walked in and paid with a fake $50 bill and then left. He filed a report with Lake Mary Police. Their detectives are also investigating. In Seminole County, I'm Catherine Silver, News 6.
Well, take a look at this thing. This is a Ferrari formerly owned by the President of the United States, Donald Trump, and it is up for auction in Kissimmee. That was today.
Yeah, it's one of thousands of cars that included celebrity-owned one-of-a-kind vehicles at the Mecum Auto Auction in Osceola's Heritage Park. News 6 photojournalist Charles Holmes was there to check it out.
$3,500, you're going to get 32 and a half at $3,250 for it. You're going to get 32.50. Sold $3,000.
We're starting with day one now of 13 here at Mecum Auctions, and we'll have cars ranging from $5,000 today to cars that at some point in time later in the auction may go for over $50 million. I think there's 3 stars in this auction. One is Bianco Speciale, the 1962 Ferrari 250 GTO. The holy grail of Ferraris, if not the holy grail of collector cars, is the 250 GTO. 250 GTO that sold in 2023 at auction for over $50 million.
Hopefully I'll get a chance to drive this today.
At $6,000, you're going to get $6,500. I have $6,000 bid. You're going to get $6,500.
What is this you're driving?
It's a thoroughbred stallion.
We have one very special, I call them celebrity cars, that was once owned by President Donald Trump. But when you add the significance, the notoriety of it once being owned by the president, could double or triple the price of the car.
Do you think the president is going to want that car back?
I think he might have his hands full right now. He's probably not interested in driving a Ferrari.
And we're giving thrill rides, drift rides in the car.
Are you excited?
Oh yeah, I've been through this already.
What is it like?
Always fun.
Sold $6,000.
Not the Fast and the Furious.
Wow. What would you rather, drive a Ferrari or be driven around in the presidential beast all day?
Yeah, that one.
That one, yeah. I think we'd all pick that one. Hey, meteorologist David Nazario is here with your weather headlines. David?
Thank you very much. So we do have some headlines I want to talk about, so let's take some notes at home while we chat about all the different changes that are going to be coming our way. First and foremost, you've probably seen some fog over the last couple days. That morning fog is going to persist since high pressure really hasn't gone anywhere. And on top of the fog being produced by the high pressure, our temperatures are going to surge over the next few days, getting very close to setting some records here in parts of Central Florida. But then right after that, you look at the bottom headline, and we might have not only a cool down coming, but an extended cool down. I'll talk about that here in a moment, but let's set the stage. This is our water vapor right now, and if there's one thing I want you to notice, you see how the shades of green back up over interior United States are just moving like this. They're just going off towards the east. You see it kicking out over the mid-Atlantic area. That's because of our subtropical ridge that remains in place over the Gulf and directly over us, which has been responsible for such calm, cool, and collected conditions. We've had pretty much no wind out there. It's been very interesting passing by some Christmas ornaments, decorations, or any kind of flags up on the flagpoles, and they've been totally still, like they're frozen. And I guess I shouldn't really say cool, because that's kind of the opposite of what we're experiencing right now. Radar is clear for the time being. I am anticipating it will stay that way for the next few days. And these are your temperatures outside right now. We're cooling down pretty quickly. The sun is set about 4 hours ago, and we are now in the low to mid 60s for many of us outside of our friends in Brevard County, looking at those upper 60s, a little bit more on the mild side. Our highs today got pretty warm. You can see here we did see some spots hit the 80-degree threshold. I think we're going to continue to see more of that as we go through time. And again, here's a look at our winds. You see how there's a lot of zeros across the board? As a result of that, we're going to be tracking some fog once again coming in off our west coast, off the Gulf Coast. You can see it really beginning to fan out between the hours of 2 to 3 a.m. and then by 6, 7 o'clock, the majority of us are going to be socked in until it begins to burn off between 9, 10 a.m. And once it does, that's when things are really going to get hot. So your forecast lows for tonight, particularly thanks to the fog, mid to upper 60s, but then, or mid to upper 50s. And then for your forecast highs for tomorrow, the average is about 72. So all of us are going to be anywhere between 5 to 7, if not even 9 degrees above the average. I do think these are a little undersold as well. Looking at observations today, we came in warmer than this. This is what the hourly temps are going to look like. I think we will get closer to 82 for sure by the warmest portions of the afternoon. And then this is what happens. We get a trough that reaches down out of Canada. It's going to help to bully this subtropical ridge off towards the east. And then we also get a little bit of a feature here that rockets through the Pacific or the desert Southwest, grabs hold of the cold weather coming through the Pacific Northwest and helps to really reinforce that cold weather over the eastern half of the U.S. So I think we're going to see that stuff sticking around. When we take a look at the 7-day forecast here, you can see we're going to get into the mid 80s here over the next few days, and then we drop off. And I'm really thinking as this 7-day continues to move through time, we're probably going to stay there, upper 60s, low 70s. Matt Ginger.
All right, David, thank you. Well, several boardwalk businesses along the world's most famous beach say they have some safety concerns.
Yeah, tonight Daytona Beach police say they are stepping in and stepping up patrols next at 10. The problem that has the city adding new roles for 17 new recruits.
I'm Molly Reed, your Volusia County community correspondent. Daytona Beachside business owners here say that they need extra security in this area ASAP along the boardwalk and A1A. They say that they're seeing more issues with crime and also people who are experiencing homelessness, panhandling, and confronting their customers. The Daytona Beach Police Department will lease an office here at the Hilton Beachfront Resort. The officers who work out of here will be specifically assigned to patrolling this area around the boardwalk, A1A, and the businesses on this area beachside. Something business owners here tell me is a great start to making them feel safer.
Issues with the homeless, the camping, sometimes they can get aggressive, and then I could see how it creates issues for the businesses down there as well as visitors.
Police Chief Jakari Young says now that he will have the staff, it's time to bring back a satellite office and heavy law enforcement presence here. Officers assigned to this area will patrol 24/7 and build relationships with the local businesses.
I currently have 17 new recruits that are going through the field training process. They are slated to be out on their own around April. Once that happens, I have the staffing to bring back the boardwalk unit.
Now, according to the notice on the city's website, the lease here will cost exactly $0. The Hilton is basically giving them the space for free. Beachside business owners I talked to say, again, great start, but they'd like to see even more security. In fact, they want to hire a security company to also patrol this area.
And they've done a great job on Beach Street.
In the fall, the city extended its security officer program on downtown Beach Street, Daytona, and added officer patrols there. The security company on Beach Street cost the city about $130,000 a year. Main Street business owner Tom Caffrey says they want the same extended presence beachside in case those boardwalk officers are ever called elsewhere at any point. Caffrey says the beachside businesses are pushing the city's community redevelopment agency to fund it.
It's a dedicated system at that point that is only accountable to that area, and if something comes up, they're on it.
And again, as far as the officers working out of the Hilton here and covering this area of Daytona Beach, that will go to the commission on Wednesday night. I'm your Volusia County community correspondent Molly Reed, News 6.
Hey, thank you so much for joining us. We'll see you back with more news headlines at 11 o'clock.
Have a great night.